Good morning. I'm Jasmine Anderson. We're working to learn what triggered a standoff across from the Walt Whitman shops. It backed up traffic for holiday shoppers. The 55-year-old man, whose name has not been released, surrendered to police in South Huntington after more than 5 hours last night. Authorities are trying to determine why he had barricaded himself in the home on New York Avenue. No charges have been filed. A cash reward now being offered in a deadly hit and run in Ronkonkoma. Police say exactly 1 year ago, Robert Twilford of Melville parked his car on the off-ramp of the LIE at exit 60, got out and was hit and killed. We're told the driver of the car that hit him can be seen here inspecting his car with a flashlight shortly after near Garrity Avenue. The vehicle is described as a light-colored, possibly gray 2015 to 2018 Ford Focus hatchback. A Long Island bus driver is accused of repeatedly raping a student. The Nassau DA says Giovanni Campos of Queens was indicted last night. He's facing several charges, including kidnapping. Prosecutors say Campos drove for a route from Central High School to North High School in Valley Stream. We're told he had sex with a teenager student in the school parking lot and at his home between January and July of this year. The future of the East End's largest town is in the spotlight today. Outgoing Riverhead Town Supervisor Yvette Aguirre delivered her final State of the Town speech yesterday. She used the backdrop of the newly minted $20 million town hall to tout her accomplishments, which included downtown revitalization.
Diligent teamwork and planning efforts have brought Riverhead to finally seeing its long-standing dreams and realization of economic development success and prosperity throughout our town. Riverhead future is bright and full of promise.
The 64-year-old two-term Republican was the first Latina elected to lead Riverhead after deciding not to run for re-election. She will be succeeded by Councilman Tim Hubbard. Expelled Long Island Congressman George Santos already has a new gig.
It doesn't matter if you either get fired from a job or if you find a new job. What matters is what you make of it. And I'm sure you're going to make great things.
It's made his debut on Cameo just days after being kicked out of Congress. The Republican is facing several felonies accused of money laundering and stealing from donors. Rite Aid closing 31 more drugstores, including another one on Long Island. The bankrupt retailer is closing its location on Route 25A in Miller Place. The store will close Monday, according to an employee. In October, the chain asked the bankruptcy court to approve the closing of 12 other Long Island stores. A heads up, if you're headed to the city for SantaCon this weekend, booze is banned on the LIRR. As in past years, the MTA is not allowing the consumption of alcohol on trains from 4 a.m. Saturday through noon on Sunday. It's a move to help handle the rowdy crowds during the annual bar crawl. Long Islanders are celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Christmas classic Elf. It will be playing at the Suffolk in Riverhead tomorrow. You can also catch Elf the musical at the CM Performing Arts Center until December 17th. Long Island's Mariah Carey isn't the only Christmas queen.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop.
78-year-old Brenda Lee is finally leading the Billboard Hot 100 Songs chart with her 1958 holiday anthem, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. It's the first time it's reached the #1 spot. Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You trails right behind Lee's song at #2. Checking out your hyper-local forecast. Mostly cloudy today, highs around 44 degrees. Tonight, we drop down to the 30s, so you know what to do. Layer up. Tomorrow, we get a little warmer. Tomorrow, sun and clouds, highs around 44 degrees. Look at your 7-day forecast coming up.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Home Tax Saver, PTRC Incorporated.
Seeing red, a study that tracks the flow of treated wastewater turned Oyster Bay Harbor crimson. Steve Langford reports.
In a section of Oyster Bay Harbor Wednesday, a red tinge to the water, not by accident, but as a result of dye released from the village wastewater treatment plant to determine the effectiveness of shellfish closures in the harbor, as established by the state's Department of Environmental Conservation.
It tells us where the treated wastewater is traveling throughout the harbor.
Where the water is bubbling up here, this is where the treated wastewater and the dye are coming out.
DEC has established shellfish enclosures within the harbor to protect public health so that people don't get sick from eating shellfish from potentially polluted or contaminated areas.
Vessels tow specialized equipment that can detect unseen concentrations of the red dye throughout the bay.
So the dye is to trace the effects of the sewage treatment plant outfall, the treated effluent, on the harbor. So we are looking at how it travels from the outfall pipe throughout Oyster Bay Harbor.
It's been nearly half a century since this test was done here. The wastewater treatment plant here was upgraded in the 1990s. Sewage treatment plants send nitrogen into the water and contribute to unsafe waters. But the Department of Environmental Conservation does say the water in Oyster Bay is appropriate for shellfish harvesting, except in 3 restricted areas.
We have water quality testing stations throughout the harbor, also within the closed area that we get results from.
So the water is clean?
Yes.
The results of this study will determine whether areas of Oyster Bay Harbor closed to shellfish harvesting may be expanded or not. Steve Langford for NewsdayTV.
Read more about the dye study on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the NewsdayTV video box. Turning TikTok into profit. In the coming weeks, Newsday's social media team will profile 6 Long Island content creators, starting with Huntington Station's Grace Mary Williams. It's a story you'll see only in Newsday.
For the third one, he's so cute. We have these 3 so far. I usually like to film like 1 or 2 days a week, and I'll film for like a good 3 to 5 hours. That way I can kind of get it all done in one shot. Let's unbox this from Jelly Belly. I've been doing social media and my small business full-time for about like 3 or 4 years. I graduated from college with a business degree, and while I was in college, after I graduated, I had no idea what I wanted to do. My mom was always an entrepreneur growing up, so I always had that like kind of background a little bit, until my little brother decided to start a slime business. I started selling slime October of 2021. And we rebranded. We used to be Satisfactory Store, and we rebranded as Slimes by Grace once I had a little bit of a following on TikTok. So I launched it then, and it went crazy. Let's open some more cutie cups. I would say in this day and age, it definitely, any kind of social media presence helps a business, especially small businesses, in my opinion. The exposure that I've gotten from TikTok and that other small businesses have gotten from TikTok is insane. Lastly is the gumball machine. I love it. It's the best job ever.
Read more about Grace Mary Williams and our special TikTok series on Newsday.com. Just click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Get in the game with Newsday. The best team of sports reporters and columnists bring you in-depth analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and news from inside the locker room. Get in the game when you subscribe to Newsday, your destination for total sports coverage at newsday.com/sports.
I'm Jasmine Anderson. Thank you so much for watching. We'll leave you with a look at your hyperlocal 7-day forecast.